Alright, welcome back to Forza Horizon 5 into the storm season now, season number 2 from this race-off series. Treasure clue upgrades taste sweet as you peel around corners, haha. So drift appeal, okay, drift appeal. Photograph a hypercar at Hostel Castillo, that's my house. I can do that. Swap to a hypercar. Well, it just so happens that I picked up this Bugatti Chiron from the Forza shop, using some points that I'd got spare. So that'll do. Photo mode. There you go, you can do it straight from this menu. Oh, that's handy. Ah, that's fine. Normally you can't get up here, I don't think, so there we go. Mini hypercar. Hotel Castillo. There we go. Can't actually see the main thing, but we get an emote. Wow. And now, do we own the peel in this? Yes, we do. We have one. There we go. I haven't tuned it at all. I also don't know if this is the one that it wants me to use. I feel it probably wants me to use the P50, but we'll see. This is a little bubble car. Can this even drift? I don't even know. Let's find out. That looks so stupid. Oh, it's so noisy too. Okay, dirt road. Oh, what do you know? Complete 20 photo challenges. Okay, well, we did a drift. It does say drift around corners and drift into triple stardom. So does that mean I need to get 3 stars at a drift zone? Ah, okay, that's a bit more annoying. I guess in that case we head home and we do some upgrades to make it so that this thing can actually drift. So it seems with all of that, we still only go to like, yeah, 100 to 150, and that's it. From 3 kilowatts to 218, but it can't do anything with it, so... Ah, but I did forget about tyres. There we go, that makes the big difference. Drift tyres, there we are. Should probably put those on. I feel you should be able to choose front versus rear. That's fine, we'll bump it into C-Class. Okay, another 10 grand, whatever. I'm moderately terrified at what this is going to do now. Oh god. Oh god, okay. Well, being able to drift is not a problem. Stopping drifting is now a problem. Okay, well, it seems that I can leave all of my driver aids on and it'll still want to drift. Alright. Yep, it just wants to drift. Until it gets grip, then it's fine. So we need 60,000. No, drift please. It doesn't feel like we can really hold it sideways without it spinning. That's the big problem. I also can't hear myself think because of how noisy it is. Ah, and then I fail. Rude. Yeah, the problem is that then once it wants to just drift everywhere, it gets really hard to stop it just spinning out. This doesn't have stability control, I'm fairly sure, is the other problem. I'm just going to go with the spin and hope that it doesn't fail me. I think if you spin too much or like go backwards, oh, for crying out loud, then it like fails you. It's just so touchy now. Oh, and there it goes. I'm just steering like just slightly, and there we go, we've failed again. This is absurd. Oh, we earned a skill point. Wow.
A few moments later.
I'll think that I've kind of held it, or recovered it, and then it'll just spin the other way. We are having to handbrake in order to start the drift. and then try not to spin, basically. But as soon as it starts, it just wants to spin, or it just doesn't want to drift at all. It's one or the other. It's really weird. Come on, just 12,000 more points. No, we may as well fail it. Yeah, 600 points shy. I'd mind less if it was more fun, but this may look like fun. It's not. This is just really, really annoying. Because it's that. Oh, now I'm spinning. It's like the line between drift and spin is tiny. Maybe we take traction control off and put it in manual, and then we have more control over when it might want to drift. Maybe. We can try. Ah, some blessed peace and quiet. And now we put it in second. And it immediately spins out. Okay, that's comforting. Not. Right, let's try this again. Already got a good slide going. Okay, we didn't go all the way around. Now we have. Okay, well, whatever. We actually have to stop and let it regather itself for a little bit. Oh, and we're off again. And that's too far away, and we're going to fail. No, apparently not quite. It's just hold it together, hold it together. Just light touches, very light touches of the throttle. Look, that's almost around, but not quite. And we've almost got the 60,000, crucially, so now just don't do... Yep, there we go. Now just don't do anything to jeopardize it, and let's get this over the line. Okay, so my best drifting came there after it didn't matter. There we go, treasure challenge complete. Finally. Oh, get me out of this car. What other cars do I need that I can jump into? Let's see. 70 Chevy Chevelle or an 80 Renault 5. Okay. Right, here's the 70 Chevy Chevelle. That's good. 10 ultimate wreckage skills and Tierra Prospera. Okay, that's an interesting one. So where the hell is Tierra Prospera? Ah! Oh, we're already there. Okay, cool. Well, 10 wreckage skills, wasn't it? Such a weird objective to just break stuff. Yeah, let's just terrorize these poor people. But it is fun sliding around the hills. The hills are alive with the sound of whatever this is. The sound of Chevrolet. There's an advertising campaign for you. The hills are alive with the sound of Chevrolet. Is there a way to see how well I've done on this? Or whether I've actually got anything counting towards it at all? 2 out of 10, apparently. 10. Oh, it's ultimate wreckage skills. Okay, so we just have to keep wrecking stuff until it becomes ultimate. Because, like, some things, like near misses, speed skills, they all require that you have a certain speed going into something. And that dictates the great, the awesome, and the ultimate. Fairly sure with wreckage, it's just break enough stuff in a row. There we go, ultimate wreckage thing. It just racks up. Then we need to do something else like a drift, and then we're back at basic wreckage again. Great wreckage, there we go, and then we do some drifts, and then we wreck some more things. Awesome wreckage, there we go, do a drift. And we break our combo, which resets it. No, it doesn't reset it. Okay, so wreckage skills do keep track between combos. That's good to know. It's especially good when you crash into a tree.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, I believe I only need to do one more ultimate wreckage skill now. This has been a little bit tedious, to say the least. Much as I like ripping around the countryside, breaking things. There we go, rough and tumble complete. Is a little bit on the tedious side. We may as well try and max this out for the sake of the skill song that started. If we can get up to a 10 times modifier, that's good. Nope, we're going to lose everything. Okay, never mind. 3 stars at any speed zone. Interesting. 152 k's an hour. That feels like a bit of a stretch, but less of a stretch than some of these others that are around. We'll try and get a decent run up. So we need to do like 150 through here overall. That's going to be really tough because this thing is not going to accelerate after I have to brake for the corner. Not nearly enough. Because I need to go really slow to get through the corner. Nope, it's just going to fail. Let's try that again. By hopefully not burning out. Now, this is quite annoying because I don't want to keep sinking lots of money into upgrades for cars, but their demands for me pretty much require it, and that's not going to help. We need a good line through this to get a good run up through the start of the speed zone. We need to do, what was it, minimum 150 or something through here? We have to brake so much, which is absurd, and then we just can't get the power down well enough to keep the speed up through here. I remember this being a struggle in like a Ferrari or something. So I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do for this one. So we get a little bit of a run out if it'll stop just doing burnouts and run through this way, which means we're going slower for the first corner and then we've got more of a run out for the last corner. But we still need to be really careful that we don't just go super wide like that. So we don't want to fail. This just doesn't have acceleration. And it definitely doesn't have cornering or braking either. And that's the real killer. I mean, we could just upgrade the tires and the brakes, and maybe that would be good enough. But I don't know if I need 3 stars or accumulate 3 stars. I think I just need to achieve 3 stars at once. And that's a problem for me. You know what? I think we give it one more go. We're not getting as big of a run-up. We know we're not going to get the full thing. I didn't pay attention to what the other tiers were for achievement on this. Maybe we've only been getting like 1 star at a time. That wouldn't surprise me. Well, let's squeeze those milk bottle tops that this thing calls brakes. Break the brakes. As long as we can get around the 120 mark again, ideally, then, you know, that should be us star, right? 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 Maybe? Hey, there we go, zooming in on speed. Fantastic, okay. It didn't need to be all at once. So now it's just win any dirt race or street race. See if you can hit both cars' top speed of 209 k's an hour. But that thankfully isn't a requirement, it's not in bold. So we just need to do a street race in this car. Good to know. And what do you know, one of the seasonal championships is a street race from the 70s. And we're using a 1970 car. Perfect. So we're not going to tune it or anything to start with. We're going to race it how it is and see how we go. I'm not overly confident. I think we're not going to be allowed to upgrade the tires, that's for sure. Because that'll bump us into A grade. Almost certainly. It's very rare you can increase the tires of any older car without it bumping you up a rating. Brakes would be nice. If we could maybe upgrade the brakes. It'd be nice if these guys could not just be annoying and push us out of the way and get in our way. So annoying. We might just have to hope that they hit traffic, to be honest. And of course, it's raining, which means we're drifting all over the place. Great. That will be why they're braking so much, and we should start to do the same. This is a nice section through here, though. We get to open up the taps a bit. We're not going to reach that 209 k's an hour, I don't think, but mind you, we're coming a lot closer than I would have expected. lovely clouds. Let's just keep this going around here. We can lean on this guy through the corner, that would be nice. Nope, we can give a little bit of a drift there, shake the tail. Only 34% of the way through? Bloody hell. My alarm's going off. Oh, did I miss that checkpoint? No, good. There we go. There we go. Coming through. Let's hit that top speed, fellas. We got close. But if we pushed it any further, we'd have gone way off. Whee! I mean, this is fun, that's for sure. And we finish up on the motorway, that's nice. I don't know if we finish up, but... No, we're only 66% of the way through, wow. Long race. Okay, now we feel pretty good being out in front. Oh, what do you mean top speed of 209? I'm hitting 210. Screw you, game. Wum, 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 wum. The bare minimum thing that I could have done is upgrade the transmission so that I could go faster. That would have been a good idea. But thankfully no one else seems to be able to do the same or do higher speeds, so... And now we have to be careful not to crash as we come off the motorway. Past the street scene base. And through the finish line. Fantastic. That is all we need for the weekly challenge. Double numbers complete. There we go. Weekly challenge done. But hey, we started the championship. We may as well finish the championship. And especially emboldened by the fact that we did manage to win that one. We basically gave ourselves 3 chances to get that weekly challenge by doing this championship. Since we had to win a race. But you can win a championship without winning any races, really. If you just come second and the same person doesn't keep coming first, then you can still get away with it. But obviously, winning a race, always preferable. That's probably a reason why those guys weren't going full speed through there. And we missed the checkpoint. Thankfully, because it's not an online race, we can rewind to before we miss the checkpoint. And we don't need to worry about everyone else still screaming on ahead. If you miss a checkpoint in like Horizon Open or the Trial, then everyone else will just zoom past you and you lose the race. It's the one thing that you mustn't do. But in a race against the computer, time just rewinds, which is nice. It's interesting also the difference between 4 and 5. In Horizon 4, having the rewind turned on, I believe, reduced the amount of credits you got for race wins. So there was a disincentive to have it enabled. So the idea was that, oh, we'll just reset the race instead. My counter to that is I would rather just rewind a corner than reset an entire race, especially if that corner is late in the track. And I can just do 2 races instead. If I'm going to sink that time into racing, I could do 2 events and win double the money instead of getting like a 10% increase by not having rewind enabled. Which is probably why they got rid of it. So it's now no longer even a disincentive. There is accolades for winning X number of races without having rewind turned on. So that's your incentive to do at least a few of them. And most of the time you're not going to need it. So it's not really going to be that noticeable. But it is kind of handy. just to have enabled. For those times that, oh no, I missed a corner, I didn't brake early enough. You know, like there, for example, could have been a good use of it, but I'm ahead anyway. Because funnily enough, we don't get to just practice these tracks time and time and time again, and even if we did, they wouldn't live in our brain to the extent that we'd know them that well. Some people might, if they play the game enough. I do not. I dip my toes in irregularly and have some fun making these videos, which I hope you enjoy. I am hoping that this week, for the storm season, that I'll be able to, one, get a particular accolade, which is taking a picture of a cult classic in a thunderstorm. Apparently you can't engineer that anymore in terms of doing things with challenge cards, but I have a feeling that if you do an event and set the weather just so, maybe you have to be in the right season for it as well. I'm not sure about all of the prerequisites, but I have seen posts of people being able to cheese it in that regard. I'm not sure it's even cheesing it at that point, because it's just such an annoying thing to get otherwise. And race 2 done. I am kind of wishing that I'd at least swapped out the suspension, maybe? But as soon as you start making changes and no longer run with a stock car, then I'm fairly sure that's when the AI start to have more and more things done to their vehicles as well. That said, there's a couple in here that already have spoilers and stuff. They've already had some work done. So, maybe it wouldn't matter. But I've been winning regardless, so yes, it would potentially make it a more pleasurable experience to just not have to worry about something. Like less body roll would be nice. But it's fine. Because sometimes you get a lot of gain out of just swapping the suspension and swapping the diff. And sometimes that'll just yield really big rewards. And then if you can change the brakes as well, then that can really help you just get through corners cleaner. If you can brake well and get a good line to accelerate through a lot more tidily, then that sets you in a really good stead. You just have a lot more leeway to make mistakes, basically, which is always handy. Given that, again, you don't get to practice these time and time again necessarily, certainly not with the same car every single time. It's not like an actual racing circuit where, you know, the driver knows the car inside out and what all of the distances would be, and then gets to practice on a track time and time again in simulators and everything as well as in real life. This, we don't really get that. I mean, you can, if you want to do nothing else, but there's so much else to do in the game that it feels bad to just tunnel vision on one track in preparation for one race, right? Generally better off doing an adequate job. Okay, so this we're going to need to brake really early for, because this is a sharp corner. I have seen the AI go off on that bend multiple times. This thing just loves drifting around corners, which is not the fastest way to go around corners. I know many people love the idea that you drift around corners. It is not the fastest way to get from A to B. You are spinning off a lot of speed, but this thing seems to love it. And thankfully we're ahead enough that we can get away with it. But ideally you want to maintain traction through the corner like, well, like I was doing until it started just spinning its wheels. And now they've caught up right behind me. I mean, this car's forte is definitely the straights. I am not surprised to have been caught up in the corners. But that's fine. Just need to hold it together. I know that through these corners up here, sometimes the AI does quite inefficient lines. They don't kind of cut the corner as much as I tend to. Yeah, there we go. They went way behind. We're just going to take a little shortcut through here as well. Because why not? We get slowed down from everything we hit. But we were in front enough that it didn't matter. Messy. Very messy. But we win. And that's what matters. And we get a F-Pace Jaguar. That's kind of useless, but okay. Now, I got so distracted by doing all of that I forgot that I have treasure to find. So let's see if we can find that. Now, if I were a treasure chest, where would I be? I have a feeling I would be out here somewhere. Maybe I would be amongst the ruins instead. We should go check the ruins first. First do the obvious places, then start hunting around further. Oh, it's right there. Of course it is. 100 Forza points. It's something. And now, while I'm here on this coast, there was the other fun little wreckage challenge, I believe. I just need to smash some pinatas. And that was in the Playa Azul, which I believe is the city up the road. Let's just go zooming past the Apex base. Which kind of is weird being on the beach side, given that it's all about road racing and stuff. I would have thought that that would be based near the stadium. But whatever. I don't know where the pinatas start showing up, or if they're out plain sight. There was the one a few weeks ago where it was little statues around some ruins. Keep your eyes peeled, everyone.
A few moments later.
I mean, that's the Playa Azul circuit off to the right. So I'm sure I'm in the right place. I'm just not seeing any pinatas anywhere. Are they on the back streets? There's something in the middle of the road. There we go. There's one. There's another. Right, back streets, that's where we need to be. To be fair, they are the helmets for the off-road stuff, so being on the dirt roads along here does make sense. I've lost count. I think I'm up to 6. 7, 8, I think. Now, are there some around here as well, or are they just on the back roads? I think they're just the back roads, but there's the dirt road off to the left here. Gonna be any up here? No, not that I can see. That's interesting. Oh, there's one. Make a weird noise when you hit them. And there's another one through here. Sorry. Just wrecking your market, and we missed that one, so we'll get the next one. And then we can turn around if we need to. But I think this might be the last one. No? This one? Perhaps? There we go. And we complete 5 seasonal smashable. Collect all seasonal smashables in a series, in fact. There we go. Accolade reward for that one. It's super effective, apparently. Gotta smash them all. Okay. Okay, game. I think that will do for now. We have accomplished a fair amount of our objectives for this week. We're just gonna take in the sunrise and do some beach burnouts. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again later in the week for more madness.